Hello everybody, and welcome out to the stream. This is some Challenger Level Solo Queue. I am Christopher Disciple Allen, and I will be bringing you the action, the adventure, the romance, even. As we hop into this game, on the blue team we have Freelancer 18, True ID, TGF Dat Control, TGF Reborn, and Dota Leader Star. Quite a few of these were actually in yesterday's game, and we'll see if they can hold up to their Challenger Level status. They are the team Magic, which is the absolutely terrible new song from Coldplay that is just not interesting in any way. So they will be facing up against our red team, better known as Any Good Song. Oh, Azingy here, the jungler for the red team, caught out in the middle of the jungle. Flashes out of the body slam. The ignite is down on him, but it won't be enough as Azingy barely escapes off the side of that with his life. Dat Control really wants to pick up this first blood. He fires the shock blast and he lands it. That's the first blood for Dat Control. And it looks like Magic's off to a quick start, which is much more than can be ever said about that song. Void Boss in the top lane here for Any Good Song, and Riot Tune in the mid lane. Puma Jiggle and Majestic Eraser down here in the bottom, and as we mentioned, Azingy in the jungle. And although Any Good Song did give up a little bit at the beginning, hopefully they can bring it back, because I would really hate to see Magic win anything. As I've mentioned before, Magic is the perfect song to play in the background of like a Noodles and Company. Like, you're just sitting down at a restaurant, it's just kind of in the background. You don't really have to listen to it or sing along. And actually, it's pretty bad when a song in a restaurant like is catchy and you want to sing along, because then like, you're eating and you're just like. So this goes better. Ooh, Riot Tune taking quite a bit of damage from Freelancer 18. The recent patch, should I say the next patch, definitely reduces a lot of the attack damage, but with the flash and the auto attack, Freelancer, no! They trade kills onto each other, and Gragas actually went down first, which means that Ziggs is the one who gets experience from that. That was close, and despite the nerf to the AD ratio on Body Slam, that was still a really, really powerful level 1. Unfortunately, he took up one too many turret shots. Of course, one turret shot was one too many at level 1. But still, he was punished pretty dearly for that. He overestimated his damage, and the ignite from Riot Tune was enough to turn that around. Azingy going to try and make up for his early poor start. Walk here right in the red buff. And True ID starting on the red buff. Azingy jumps in, deals some massive damage. True ID has the flash, escapes for now. Freelancer 18 trying to finish him off. Azingy still trying to work him down. And Azingy actually with the red buff dealing quite a bit of damage. But against 4 members now, I don't think he'd be able to do this. Now Dota Leader Star taking the kill and the red buff. That is the worst possible start for a good song. And I'm honestly quite concerned. Oh my goodness, Riot Tune walking here to stop Gragas from getting back into lane. Throws the satchel charge. And it's going to escape here from True ID. That was a very far extension, but it resulted in a kill. Majestic Eraser brought in, throws down the exhaust onto the wrong enemy as the red buff Caitlyn takes out a kill. And this is a sweep to start out the game for Magic. Oh, Riot Tune taking quite a bit of damage, but he's able to escape once again, and this is quite an action-packed game. If Coldplay wrote anything with this amount of passion, I might have actually enjoyed it. Void Boss trying to aggress up in the top, but he's taking a lot of harass damage from Dat Control, throws down the Ruthless Predator to escape during the stun, but he's still not looking so hot. What Renekton really needs to do is shut down this top lane early, since Jace will outscale later on. Accelerated Shock Blasts are the AD version of a Nidalee, where the late game is so powerful. But right now, Void Boss is having a hard time holding this lane one-on-one. Once he can build up to his first item, he might want to go for a slightly aggressive route and see if he can't get the 1 versus 1 action on Dat Control. Maybe going for a Sunfire cape first. If he goes for something more aggressive, like a Brutalizer or a potential Tiamat into Ravenous Hydra, that could definitely be a mistake if he gets killed coming out soon. Now, the gank on the Reborn not going to be successful in any way. Azingy has the blue buff, was able to spam out some spells, but they just don't have the CC down here. Majestic Eraser, only level 2, doesn't even have the Hymn of Celerity yet. So, doesn't have any chance to speed up her allies or slow down her opponents. The exhaust down as well means that was just not a great time for Azingy to gank. He's going to hang around here for a while. Reborn doesn't have a flash, but he does have a ward in that bush. They're going to find Azingy here, throw the lantern over to True ID, and look to go in. The Descendants misses, but Azingy comes in way too far. The Ignite's going to take him out in the top lane. Void Boss does loot out the 1v1 under the turret. Dat control, getting Dat control in the top lane. If you watched yesterday's cast, you will have heard that joke before, but here's hoping that you haven't so I can make it all over again. Raichun definitely with a strong laning phase right here, and Ziggs is very good against Gragas early on. If Gragas can get in with the body slam, then he can definitely win a 1 versus 1 fight like we saw at level 1. If he hadn't taken the turret shot, he certainly would have won it. However, if Raichun, no, he goes forward way too far. True ID comes in for the gank, the Ignite, and the Hate Spike's going to find a second kill onto this mid lane Yordle. Like I was saying, he has tools to stay away from Gragas, but if he gets caught by that body slam, then it's lights out. Ooh, Reborn throws a very smart ward right over the Tribush. He knows that Azingy could potentially come through it and jump right over the wall with his Aegis, what's the name of? Aegis of Zionia! Haha, that's it! There's Aegis of Zionia, Aegis of Protection, Golden Aegis. There's a whole lot of abilities there. And so they're going to be safe from Azingy coming around and also make it so True ID can come right around from behind, land the Hate Spikes, but have to take the Thresh Express back out. Can't turret dive this with that amount of health, especially against a Sona, who can throw out the Hymn of Perseverance, get some health, some armor, and some magic resistance, and really ruin Evelyn's day. Right now, True ID is looking pretty strong. 3 assists, a single kill, building up the Spirit of the Elder Lizard. What's nice about Spirit of the Elder Lizard is that both Hate Spike and Evelyn's E, Ravage, both scale off of attack damage. So you not only get the burn, but you also get some increased damage on your abilities. The cooldown reduction as well, helping Evelyn out in every single category. And so it proves to be a very, very effective item, even more so than the Spirit of the Spectral Wraith, which we typically see on ability power-paced junglers. True ID knows that he has some leeway with Azingy. He doesn't have level 6 yet, but he really wants to mess around with this red buff. If he can steal it away, it'll really limit Azingy's ability to gank here. True ID comes in, and they're going for the 1 versus 1 duel. One smite went down, but it is Azingy who takes out the red buff. He has to flash away, but turns right back around on True ID. Doesn't have damage. Spirit Shot finds the kill, and he almost falls to Dat Control, but Void Boss is there from the side. He's blocking off the Shock Blast. Dat Control tries to fire around him, but doesn't find it onto Azingy, and now with Raichun coming from behind, throwing down the Hexplosive Minefield and looking for the Satchel Charge. He's going to knock himself back farther, but put Dat Control into a perfect spot for the Ruthless Predator. And with Void Boss coming in, they get a good amount of shutdown gold. Not the entire shutdown gold of a killing spree, but still with a 2 killing spree, it grants 60 additional gold for the kill and 30 additional for the assist. If you guys are curious why I jumped to the base, it wasn't so that I could desperately see what Evelyn was doing on the fountain, but it's just a small bug with the spectator client. Please forgive me. As we see what really appears to be a much closer game than what we originally expected. Although Magic was off to a strong start, they're really fizzling out, much like the band Coldplay. And with quite a few kills picked up on any good song so far, they brought the gold differential to 1,000. Which isn't quite as close as a good song might like it, but they're definitely bringing back control. Dat Control going to continue up in this top lane. Void Boss going for a very aggressive early build. I talked about how he might want to go for a defensive build or an offensive build in the merits of that, but instead he just goes for a Genja build. 3 Doran's Blades up here in top, just really wanting to beat Dat Control in a 1 versus 1 before Jace can get out of control. Jace, with the Tear of the Goddess, really forgoes a lot of combat stats, and it looks like Void Boss might actually have the upper hand here because of the Tear of the Goddess detour that Jace took. Raichun has to be a little bit more careful in the mid lane because of the explosive cast that Gragas has picked up now. If he throws it behind Raichun and can knock him into Evelyn, potentially in Agony's Embrace, and then the absolute series of destructive spells that both Freelancer 18 and True ID can throw out, That could definitely spell death for Ziggs here, but also give up the blue buff that he's just recently acquired. Right now, he's doing a very good job of farming. Ooh, Grand Skyfall comes down in the bottom lane. The box stops Azingy in his tracks, and they're all slowed to 99%, or by 99% with only 1% movement speed. They're not going to be able to chase on very well. And Void Boss finally finding the 1 versus 1. Really not taking much damage at all. The Dominus coming out strong for this Gator up in the top lane. Will now be able to apply a lot of pressure here while his team takes the Dragon. And if they're able to secure this, which it looks like they will. Oh, Reborn flashes in for the Death Sentence, and it's a steal. True ID gets in there for the Smite. They turn around and pick up the kill. No, they aren't able to get Reborn. They get a double kill and the Dragon. True ID really wants Puma Jiggle. He does get flayed back and pick up the kill, but he can't get the second. Oh, an excellent ult from Riot Shun grabs the second kill. So that's a 3 for 2. But the Dragon also coming over here to Magic. Oh, Freelancer 18 knocking Riot Shun right back into Dota Leader Star. The auto attacks are falling, and that'll be the 4th kill of this series. Everyone on a good song died except for Void Boss there, which is why we see a 2,500 gold lead, and why Magic is looking a lot better than I would ever like them to. But here, with a bit of gold under their belts, they're getting up to their mid-game builds. Caitlyn going for that Bloodthirster first because of Caitlyn's high auto attack damage, because of the high AD scaling on her abilities as well, and because that headshot really has excellent synergy with attack damage. Gragas picking up an Athene's Unholy Grail is a little bit behind Riot Shun because of the difference in farm and because he is a kill down, but he's getting close, and that'll really allow him to consistently wave clear and move around the map with his body slam. Void Boss has to be careful here. He doesn't have his Dominus. True ID comes in from the side, throwing out the hate spikes and the Ravage. Void Boss is low, but he dodges out of the accelerated shock blast, turns around with the Ruthless Predator, but the Ignite is down. Void Boss is going to fall. Evelyn survives just barely off the side, and so True ID and Dad Control with a successful dive will be able to grab out a 12th kill for their team. Riot Shun and Freelancer 18 continue to trade back and forth, and Riot Shun has to be careful, but he knows Evelyn isn't nearby. Freelancer 18 still might be able to turn this around once he clears it out. He has double buffs, which make it pretty much impossible to get away from a Gragas here. Hexplosive Mindfield's doing a good job of zoning, but if Freelancer can find the body slam here. Ooh, he's using his fat body to keep his pink ward safe. Very interesting play. But Jessica Razor and Puma Jiggle might want to go for the 2 versus 2, since their level 6 is much more powerful than Thresh and Caitlyn's. Caitlyn's Ace in the Hole is really unlikely to have any use in a small skirmish. It's only used really at the end or the beginning to deal some range damage. But if a full calling can come across on top of a crescendo, that could be absolutely devastating. Now, Evelyn will come moving down towards the bottom lane, and Riot Shun is unsure whether he should defend in the mid lane or come down here and counter gig. Azingy just going to be taking away the race, and then lying in wait for Evelyn to potentially run through, but True ID looks to not come anywhere close. Freelancer 18 taking a lot of damage, but True ID comes around from the side. There's the Agony's Embrace, the hate spikes, and the flash body slam, but Riot Shun flashes away. The hate spikes are enough, and True ID finds the kill. The shield from the Agony's Embrace was enough. This level 2, however, in the bottom lane, or level 6, sorry. Level 2 was quite a few minutes ago, if you will excuse me. And with a Grand Skyfall as well, they pick up a kill onto Dota Leader Star, shutting down his Rampage. Azingy now wants to try and defend up this middle lane. True ID turns right around to Azingy, but he's dealing quite a bit of damage. And with the turret shots falling out of Freelancer 18, no, he doesn't find the kill. Oh, he's burning. He body slams so that his happy hour passive grants him the regen he needs to survive there. And in a very nice play, he survives with very, very little health. Void Boss in the top takes the first turret of the game, which will be a bit of a saving grace for a good song. But really, they're just on such a back foot. If you'll excuse me, I love this song so much. If we're comparing Magic to a good song, I would say this is the good song we're comparing it to. My dream is that one day I'm on the Riot shoutcasting desk just dancing like this with Freak. I guess Freak does play-by-play, so I'd most likely be doing it with the Zyrene, which would be pretty fun since we're friends. Alright, let's get right back into the game at hand. Riot Shun Just trying to walk around. Ooh, actually throws down a big bomb. Gonna tickle Dota Leader Star, trying to clear out a little bit and maybe defend up the turret, but he was quite too late for that. Raichun does have the most gold in the game. No, that would be held by Caitlyn, of course, with 6,024. Raichun's close behind, 5,200. And actually pretty close with quite a few members here of the red team of the blue team, excuse me, with Jace, with Evelynn, and with Gragas, which means that they, with the Dragon Steel, with the turret as well, are really keeping up strong in the game. Junglers would never have seen the amount of gold that a solo laner could get until level 4, or until season 4, which is one of the better changes I would have to say that Riot has made in this upcoming competitive season. Oh, Reborn looking for potential death sentence mid. They really want this turret. And Raichun's going to try and defend it up as much as he can, but Reborn, instead of throwing the shield, he flashes in for the death sentence onto Raichun, but Reborn takes so much damage. Chun gets brought back and forth. He's still alive. Freelance Racing finally takes him out, but not before they find 2 kills onto Magic. Oh, Azingy caught out in between a fat man and a very, very evil little lady. Puma Jiggle now looking for a kill to hunt down, but I'm not sure he can do it. With Ardent Blaze missing, he won't have the movement speed he needs to catch up to Evelynn. So it turns out to be a 3 for 2 in Magic's favor, taking out the turret as well. And they've been picking this up so excellently. Not only do they get in there for the turret or get in there for the Dragon Steel, but they pick up a little bit more on top of that. Typically we see you'll trade a life for a dragon, and that's where you come out ahead. But they are just pulling their lead any way they can get, and it's really working for them. They have about 4,500 now under their belts, which is really, really going into some big items. We're seeing the burn build on Evelynn with the Haunting Guise will eventually be turned into a Leandri's Torment. Jace continuing to stack up his Tear of the Goddess. Still hasn't hit his power spike. He won't hit it until he buys his Mana Mune, which at that point should be a Mirror Mana. But his Brutalizer carrying him through the mid game, and with that attack damage, he's going to be able to take out the turret in exchange for this dragon falling to a good song in the bottom. Back control still with a lot of damage to deal, but without anyone here to stop him, it looks like this will be his time to shine for his team. And the rest of a good song, not too sure where to go with this one. They try to pick up a kill on the Reborn, but he's a little bit too escapable for that. He didn't even have to use his flash to escape from there. Magic Eraser taking massive damage here from Caitlyn. The built-over Peacemaker doesn't connect after the flash. Azingy comes in and almost finds the kill. If Raichun had an ultimate here, that would be an easy double, but it was down. Void Boss now could be collapsed in on. He's used his Slice and Dice. Freelance 18 waiting across the wall with the Agnes Embrace falling down. He decides to turn it around. He has his Dominus. Now he flashes away, culling over the wall, but that will be an escape from all parties involved. Azingy getting a little greedy. Picks up the kill on Reborn, but gives over the assist and a kill on the Dota Leader Star. Not the kind of comeback they need. Ooh, Renekton. Void Boss going to try and survive into the turret here. The Ignite is down. True ID takes a lot of damage, and he looks for it, but True ID is a little bit too strong. Smite, no! No, she's able to get it. The Smite came down, but there's no... Alright, so the accelerated Shock Blast found him a double kill when they did grab Gragas in the bottom, or in the jungle. In the bottom is where we just saw Majestic Eraser. No, Majestic Eraser fell here. It was Raichun, of course. We can see his bombs. Rest in peace, sweet Yordle. With Dota, a Leader Star now pushing up, has so much damage with this Bloodthirster, with the Zeal, and with 6 kills under his belt. He looks like quite the powerful mid-game AD carry. He'll also outscale Lucian. You don't always think of Caitlyn as a late-game AD carry, especially against the likes of Jinx or Vayne. However, here, with Caitlyn's extended range and with the headshot passive, it'll really give Caitlyn the ability to auto-attack people, absolutely destroying their health, whereas Lucian has to focus more on ability since his range really limits him. He does have a very spammable dash with his Relentless Pursuit, but it's still it's still a lot less guaranteed. And sources of damage. Ooh, Puma Jiggle not going to see True ID moving through here, but he will be smart enough to avoid Reborn. Reborn throwing a word over the wall, catch him with the death sentence, but that won't send him to much except for about 70 damage. Freelancer 18 not going to worry too much about the auto attacks either. They're just mounting an offense here, finally going to put their gold to good use, which is something they really should be looking to do. Oh, there's Explosive Cast into Riot Tune. He jumps over the wall with such a well-placed satchel charge, but it's just not enough. True ID now tries to escape from the Grand Skyfall, and it looks like she will. Smites away the Wraith, and Azingy just falls onto nothing. And that's another kill picked up, but it looks like Magic is having a difficult time closing out much. They've killed 3 turrets, so all of the outers are now down. The inners are next, but they just don't quite know where to go in. Tune definitely has a good amount of wave clear, but if they can catch him out like that more in the future, that could be the pickups they need. Oh, Void Boss throws Dominus, looks to turn, but with the slow and the dice not going over the wall, he will fall. Who grabs the kill? It's Dat Control on a rampage, 6 and 2, finally finishing up his Manamune, now going for a last whisper and looking powerful. Comparing our AD carries, that's a Phantom Dancer, Bloodthirster, Caitlyn, who will be doing such devastating auto attack damage, whereas Lucian still has yet to finish his Trinity Force. And with only a Bloodthirster to his name and a Phage, he just can't nearly do the same auto attack damage that Caitlyn can. His abilities will still be strong. They scale very well with AD, specifically his Piercing Light. But he just still can't answer what Caitlyn might be able to do in the fight. Caitlyn also with the longsword shows that she's going for the 3rd item, Last Whisper, which will be perfect in destroying early armor on champions like Void Boss or on Ziggs, which looks to be his next item, a Zhonya's Hourglass. It'll help keep him alive from Freelancer 18's dives. Ooh, Sona. Sona. Even though they had, no, they did not have vision. The enemy team had vision of it. You do not want to be walking into the jungle without vision unless you're surrounded by your teammates or you want to die. And that was definitely a death sentence for Sona. Oh, Grand Skyfall coming right in above Freelancer 18. True ID is the target of the Aegis. Oh, a good explosive bomb. And Dota Leader Star might be the first to fall here. Throws the barrier and survives. Bouncing Bomb not going to catch on. And that Control grabbing up what was the first kill of that entire 5-on-5 team fight. So many escapes on very low health. Oh, the damage from the accelerated shock blast. Could find the next kill, though. Freelancer 18 flashes in for the explosive cask, but throws in the barrel roll immediately after, which is pretty difficult to land a barrel roll on the champions you just moved away. Ooh. Shock Blast not connecting, but the barrel roll doing about 1/3 of Puma Jiggle's health. It looks like he won't be able to defend this up too well, but the minions aren't there for the protection of that Control or Freelancer. That Control really has to fall back due to his health. But that's a lot they grabbed out of that push. They got a single kill, an inner turret, and a lot of damage on an inhibitor turret. If we take a look, it's actually not quite as much damage, but it's just going to set it up for a slightly easier take once they fall back and buy. Everyone has 1,000 gold on them, except for Jace, who is already recalled. And although they do give up their outer turret, the outer turrets don't matter too much right now. The map control that they grant isn't quite so important coming up to 25 minutes. However, this Baron might be the objective that we really need to be talking about. Azingy starting it up, but they're doing it with the full knowledge of Magic. Although they don't have vision, they know what's going on. They saw everyone disappear at once, and they could have guessed Satchel Charge going to try and keep people out of the pit, and Azingy decides to go on for the aggressive. A huge culling comes across, but doesn't damage people too much. Void Boss finds the first kill on the Freelancer 18, but Puma Jiggle goes down immediately after. Oh, Azingy will survive the ace in the hole. Renekton still alive in the back, but won't be for long. True ID comes in with a Ravage and finds the kill. Dota Leader Star still on full health. Should be able to finish off this fight if anyone decides to turn around. But instead, they just call it quits with the 2-for-2. Oh, True ID barely escaping with the flash off the side. Grand Skyfall there to cut him off, and it looks like he won't be escaping here today. Majestic Eraser with the Hymn of Valor claims it for himself, his 3rd kill of the match. I hesitate to call that a mistake from a good song, because they were able to, in all respects, win the team fight after that. They ended up being 3 for 2 in total. With all the Baron damage they took, they didn't get the Baron out of that one. But the most important part is they didn't lose the fight at the Baron, because there was the potential. If True ID and Freelancer could have gotten the drop on them, they have such powerful initiation capabilities with the Explosive Cask and with the Agony's Embrace. That could really be the end game here, to be fair. Maybe not. The respawn timers are still going to be around 30 seconds, maybe a little longer. And so they should be able to come back to at least defend their Nexus turrets. But an inhibitor for sure would really make things grim. Alright, Riot June trying to escape here, but with Ace in the hole coming across, Total Leader Star is unstoppable. True ID comes in to pick it up, but his help is unneeded. Takes the Thresh right back over to safety, and with all these picks under Riot June, we really should see some action here. He's down for the next 25 seconds, and this mid-inhibitor turret looking pretty tasty. However, with the dive from True ID, that might be enough to keep him off of this one. Ooh, Void Boss from the side might be looking for his spot to go in. Descendants catches on, and he takes a bit more damage than he would like. There's a Grand Skyfall. Dota Leader Star takes the brunt of that with a solid crescendo. That locks up both Freelancer and Dota Leader Star, but the flash over the wall keeps him safe for now. Void Boss continues on with the slice and the dice. Now moving in, caught up by a Descendants Reborn. Going to fall low. Void Boss can't quite take it out. A triple kill for Dat Control with his Shock Blast. He has removed 3 members of the map from a good song. And Magicka really looking on fire. They have a 10,000 gold lead, which is massive. That's why we see some huge items here. A Void Staff already completed on Gragas. The Last Whisper on Caitlyn. Even on Thresh, the Talisman of Ascension, the Mikhail's Crucible. That's all going to be such an impact, keeping Dota Leader Star alive, keeping that control alive, and just getting around in these fights. Riot June is going for the control. He's trying to lay down the Hexplosive Minefields to keep people away, the Satchel Charges to push them back. But if he gets caught out like that again, I would really expect an inhibitor go down. However, he's died 8 times and still no inhib, so maybe he's not quite their key to keeping their turret safe. The engages from Azingy, although reckless, have at least been keeping their base alive. He's died 9 times, but I don't think his KDA really takes into account the impact that his Grand Skyfalls have had. They've really been an effective zoning technique and just kept objectives up, if not winning the fight. Ooh. There with the Explosive Cask, they almost find the kill on the Magic Eraser outright. Ace in the hole, eliminating Ziggs there. Rest in peace, sweet prince. And that will signal the Baron attempt here from Magic. The Ravage giving True ID some nice attack speed. Freelancer moving in from the side to be a bit of a buffer here. That Happy Hour will help Freelancer take up quite a few of these auto attacks from the Baron. Dota Leader Star, pegging from the side, claims the Baron buff for his team. And they're now on the prowl. Puma Jiggle looks to escape here. The Flash Descendant catches on the Magic Eraser. He follows it up, throws the Flay. Magic Eraser throws the Crescendo and misses everybody. Reborn found the kill. However, Puma Jiggle did turn around with a shutdown on the Dota Leader Star, which is probably the most feared member of the team. However, they still are able to close this fight out. Puma Jiggle, the second kill from Dat Control. And now the only remaining member here, Riot June, going to try and defend this up. He doesn't have his ultimate. He doesn't have a lot of health either after the accelerated shock blast. And Dat Control with the flash in, forcing the flash out of Riot June. Oh, his health looks absolutely pitiful. This will be the inhibitor turret and the inhibitor going down immediately after. But with these short respawn timers, they won't find any damage on Nexus turrets and be forced to back out of here. Raichun with his little home guard booties really wants to find something here. He jumps over the wall. What can you do? What can you do? Aw, he looks so cute with his little floaties there. I don't think he'll be able to stop them from taking this dragon. And now with a 16,000 gold lead, I suppose it's only a 15,000 gold lead. I misspoke. They're going to really prove who's the boss. I might have to change my opinion of Coldplay's terrible song. With a 12-3 Jace, a 10-3 Caitlyn, although Caitlyn got destroyed at the beginning of last fight. We didn't even see how fast she died. No, True ID! Oh, man. Dota Leader Star picking up the kill with that one, but it was Ziggs who did find the 1 versus 2 kill, essentially, there. As long as he can kill True ID, it'll keep his team alive, since that's a lot of the engagement potential. Although Gragas can start out with an explosive cask, after that, the enemy team is free to run through them. They're not a very tanky team. They really need Evelynn with the Randuin Zone and with the Agony's Embrace to lock up people with the slow and then just keep them at bay, running them through the fight with the hate spikes, with the ravages, and just trying to keep Dota, Leader Star, and Dad Control alive. Freelancer 18 with his body slams can hold his own. But these two rather squishy AD champions are a bit of a different story. With everyone mounting up an offense, this should be an inhibitor turret going down soon. Puma Jiggle just doesn't have great wave clear, nor does Majestic Eraser. It's really only Raichun who they can rely on here. Ooh, Reborn able to pop out the Banshees before the fight starts. Going to be really nice if they need a Azingy to jump in with his Grand Skyfall. Void Boss struggling to defend the top lane. Recalling here after popping the Dominus. True ID really wants to pick him up before the fight starts, and Dota, a Leader Star, grabs out a kill on the Raichun. His 11th death of the game, really signaling the upcoming onslaught on the base. That's Dota, Leader Star, just shredding the inhibitor's turret's health. Void Boss coming in, trying to stop True ID, but what can he do? True ID keeping himself safe with Thresh's incredible ability to do so. Ooh, Dat Control with a very nice Q. Forces the flash of Majestic Eraser. What? 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 What was that crescendo? Okay, he might have given up here. A huge Agony's Embrace comes out for a double kill on Data Control. He has 14 kills, 3 deaths. Majestic Eraser has all but given up. Going to just try and chill. I can't even move my camera to where she is. Nexus turret's going down. Freelancer taking a lot of damage but not falling. And the game going over here to Magic at 33 minutes and 20 seconds. With that 22,000 gold lead, we couldn't really have expected any other outcome. And so congratulations to Freelancer 18, True ID, TGF's Dat Control, and Reborn, and Dota Leader Star for a very well played game. Remember to tune in tomorrow for the next episode of Disciples Quest to become the very best shoutcaster ever. And remember that Coldplay's new song is terrible. Am I too passionate about how much I dislike this song? I don't feel like I'm too passionate, because I'm a big fan of Coldplay. I really like Coldplay. And this song is awful. This song is so bad.